What's up, people? Landan with LMR.com. Today we're talking about the 2025 Ford Mustang GTD. So real quick, before we get into the bullet points, first listen to how badass this car sounds at Road Atlanta. Okay, I think I speak for a lot of us when I say this. The car sounds amazing. The exhaust sounds great. Supercharger line, American V8, the list can go on. This car is going to be absolutely insane. So as most of you know, there's a ton of info already out there. We're going to take some of that info, kind of bullet point it down for you, just give you our rundown of the car. All right, so I got a little cheat sheet here just because this stuff is, so new. I've had a little bit of time to study it. Kind of for the sake of what we're doing, we're going to start with overall body and kind of the aero package that the GTD has. The Mustang GTD takes advantage of the extensive use of carbon fiber body panels throughout to reduce weight, lower center of gravity, and of course improve responsiveness. It's also worth mentioning that almost all the body panels are borrowed from the GT3 race car. Ford is also stating that an aero package is going to be available that includes a comprehensive underbody aerodynamic tray made from carbon fiber. There is even some technology that is used that is actually illegal in racing, such as hydraulically controlled front flaps to manage airflow for aerodynamic balance in coordination with the C-pillar mounted active rear wing. Where there once was a trunk, now resides the semi-active suspension, the hydraulic control system, and a transaxle cooling system. All right, so now let's shift gears and talk a little bit about the powertrain. The engine in the GTD is a supercharged 5.2 liter V8 with dual air inlets. It's the highest horsepower street legal engine ever developed by Ford. It's targeting 800 plus horsepower and is fitted with a dry sump oiling system, which is also another first for any road legal Mustang. All this power is sent to the rear wheels via a carbon fiber drive shaft connected to an 8-speed transaxle. The transaxle helps get the GTD to a near 50-50 weight balance. All right, so switching gears now to some of the suspension, the brakes, and the wheels. State-of-the-art semi-active suspension is used to vary both spring rates and the ride height. The adaptive spool valve damper technology with hydraulically actuated dual spring rate and height suspension provides two unique states which enhance on-road and on-track performance independently. These settings allow for nearly a 40 millimeter lower ride height than track mode, and overall, the track width is 4 inches wider than the Mustang GT. Up front, a high-end, short, long arm setup is utilized to provide enhanced lateral stiffness, which allows the GTD to handle like it's on rails. The rear suspension features an integral link pushrod and rocker arm architecture, which is commonly referred to as a cantilever setup. With the unique architecture that the Ford Performance and Multimatic engineers were able to achieve, the motion ratio from the pushrod to damper is 1:1, which allows for quick, precise response. Now here's where it gets kind of cool. The front tire tires are 325 millimeters wide, which is as wide as the rear tire on the latest model Ford GT, and the rear tires are 345 millimeters. To put that into perspective, that's 12.8 inches wide in the front and 13.6 inches in the rear, which is absolutely bonkers. These tires are mounted to 20-inch forged aluminum wheels, and they're also available in forged magnesium wheels, which is the wheel you see on the release car. So behind the wheels and bringing the GTD to a stop are massive Brembo carbon ceramic brakes. At this time, there haven't been any sizes announced. I can only assume that they're going to be equal to or larger than the Brembo brake setup on the 2020 to 2022 Shelby GT500. Ford really didn't talk much about the interior. I don't even think they showed much of the interior in any of the reveal shots. They did have some talking points. They're saying that the interior will feature some premium materials, obviously, especially at the price of the car. These are going to include Mico or Mico, however you say that word, suede paired with leather and carbon fiber accents. In typical Ford fashion, Recaro seats are used and will be optimized for track days. I thought this was pretty neat. They're going to complement the interior with 3D printed titanium paddle shifters, rotary dial shifter, and serial plate. And this material is actually sourced from a retired Lockheed Martin F-22. That's kind of neat. Actually, that's real damn neat. And like other track-focused Mustangs before it, the GTD will not have a backseat. There will be multiple interior color combinations available in several special option packages. What I think is cool is that you can order the car in any color that you want. And when I say any color that you want, let's just pretend here and say that you wanted to do a Cobra R inspired GTD. Well, you can tell Ford that I want it in performance red, and they're going to paint the car in performance red. Just going off the Ford color wheel here, you know, if you wanted Mystic Chrome, that was another popular Ford color. Name any color you want and they'll paint it for you. And as most of you have probably already saw, car isn't cheap. I mean, we're talking to the tune of $300,000. I'm only 32 years old at the time of this video. Seeing Mustang, seeing supercar, and seeing $300,000 all kind of tied in as one, it's kind of hard to believe. I think the Mustang has always been the people's car. You know, about anybody could go out and buy one. Seems like that's not the case, especially with this car, but that's okay. Ford is in the business to sell cars, and they've kind of positioned the GTD as more of the kind of the halo car. We don't know if there's going to be a GT500. For the longest time up until now, you know, the Shelby nameplate and GT500 was the top dog. So now, you know, none of that naming exists. It's just Ford Mustang GTD. As time goes on, you know, I don't know if Ford's done releasing cars. I mean, goodness gracious, you know, we got EcoBoost, we got Mustang GT, Dark Horse S, Dark Horse R. Then you have the race car variants, GT3, GT4. You have the Australian spec car. You have the NASCAR car. And then now we get the GTD. Who knows? 6 months from now, a year from now, I am just assuming, I am just throwing this out there, but could we see the mediary between the Dark Horse and the GTD? You know, is there room for the $125,000 to $150,000 Mustang, which puts it in the ballpark of the Corvette Z06? And of course, I'm speaking in terms of now. The dollar amount changes, the worth of the dollar changes. Y'all know how all that rigmarole works. We're not going to go too far down the rabbit hole, but that's just me dreaming. I think it would be neat if Ford could bring something like that to fill the void between the naturally aspirated Dark Horse and now the supercharged 5.2 liter GTD. I always want to say GT4. Nonetheless, the GTD is a hell of a car. All this is kind of just my opinion on the matter. You know, let me know down in the comments if you agree. You heard Jim Farley say it himself. He wants Porsche, he wants Aston Martin, and he wants Mercedes to sweat. Ford did it back in the day, in the 60s with the Ford GT program, when they took down Ferrari at Le Mans, and then they did it again. They won Le Mans with the later model Ford GT. The Ford Mustang GT3 is going back to Le Mans and is going to kind of carry on the Ford motorsport tradition. But Ford's definitely going after the Porsche bro or somebody like that may just want to try something new. It's a very expensive car. It's not for everyone. It's not going to be for everyone. It's going to be one of those things where we're just going to have to live vicariously through others and be okay with that. And then one last little fun fact. It's going to start at the Flat Rock Assembly Plant, and then it's going to be transported to the Multimatic facility, I believe in Markham, Canada, where it'll be handcrafted into a GTD. That's all we have for you today. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Let us know down in the comments what you think of the car. Good, bad, indifferent. Hopefully more positive than negative, because I think at the end of the day, it's good to see what Ford's doing, regardless of the price tags. In a day and age where we're surrounded by so many EVs, it's good to see Ford kind of just drop the hammer and say, check this out. Here's a Ford Mustang GTD with a V8, with a supercharger, 8-speed transaxle, titanium exhaust. We're living the good old days and we don't even know it. Anyways, we're gonna sign off for the day. Y'all know what to do. If you find value in our content, go ahead and give this one a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, turn on notifications. That way you're notified every time we release something new. And then until we catch you in the next one, y'all know what to do for all things S650. Keep it right here with The Real Enthusiasts, LMR.com.